Derek Carr has officially met with 3 different teams at the NFL Combine. In a weird turn of events, Derek Carr decided to go to the NFL Combine to talk to certain teams. He's one of the few quarterbacks who's a free agent right now. We know the tampering period officially opens March 13th. Derek Carr has an advantage where he's able to meet with a lot of teams before free agency even opens up. And he met with the Carolina Panthers. We know previously he had met with the Saints and the Jets. The Carolina Panthers are one of the new teams in the mix, and there could be some other teams in the mix as well. We'll get into that in a little bit. But Frank Reich, we know he wanted Derek Carr from his time when he was the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Reich is now with the Panthers, and the Panthers do have a shot to draft their next franchise quarterback. But they are not picking in the top 5, so maybe they think they may have to elect with the free agent quarterback like Derek Carr. And Derek Carr, whether it be the Saints, whether it be the Jets, whether it be the Panthers, he is not going to be an expensive quarterback. And we know there is some rumor reports that Derek Carr did not accept the trade with the New Orleans Saints because it wasn't the right compensation. Well, that's clearly complete BS because we know Derek Carr was never going to accept a trade anyway because he could easily be released and be a free agent. And he even joked around about that at the Pro Bowl, saying he doesn't care about the optics of it.
I don't care about the optics of it. Like, who cares? I can control that. I'm not just going to accept the trade because it looks better. I don't care about that.
Saying he doesn't mind being released in that. Peyton Manning was released from the Colts and ended up joining the Broncos. So what's the big deal about being released? So we know that the price is clearly not why he rejected the deal from the Saints, because the price, $35 million, is exactly what allegedly he rejected from the Saints. They said it was $10 million less than he was set to make, and he was set to make $42 million guaranteed over the next 2 years. So $35 million, people believe around the NFL, according to ESPN, that this $35 million a year is not a hefty price tag for Derek Carr. And you hear about Daniel Jones, he wants to get $40 million plus. Jimmy Garoppolo, the guy who's always injured, he wants over $35 million. A lot of these guys want fat contracts, and Derek Carr is kind of saying no, because we know he had that fat contract in 2017, paid him over $120 million over several years. This guy has been paid throughout his life. He's already made his money. He's only looking to win a championship, something he's clearly never been able to do with the Raiders. And Derek Carr is leaving an impression on people, and he's leaving an impression on the Jets. And I think he wants to leave an impression on the Jets because he has people around the Jets that he's comfortable with. People like Todd Downing, who he already knows. I think he'll excel in Nathaniel Hackett's system because it's sort of similar to what John Gruden is running, and Nathaniel Hackett sort of got his first NFL gig under John Gruden. And that's when we've really seen the best Derek Carr play in his career is under John Gruden. A lot of people think 2016, because of the MVP, blah, 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 blah. And, they had a 12-4 record. That's a little misleading. I mean, yes, the rest of the team was doing quite well, and there were some miracle victories that happened in 2016 for Derek Carr. But statistically, from an individual quarterback performance perspective, Derek Carr's best season, in my opinion, is 2020 under John Gruden. And apparently he's leaving a good impression on the Jets. The Panthers obviously like this guy. He's already met with the Saints. And what's even crazier is he's going to meet with the owner of the Jets at the NFL Combine. And this is the next step to getting signed, in my opinion. You met with the GM, you met with the coaching staff. Now it's time to talk to the owner, Woody Johnson, and see if he believes in you and he wants to invest in you. And this is sort of a rare opportunity because you don't always get to meet the owner when you're incoming free agent. It doesn't always happen, but because he's at the Combine, seems a lot more possible. And if you're the Jets, are you really going to just keep waiting on this Aaron Rodgers BS? Aaron Rodgers has come back from the darkness retreat today, Wednesday, and he is supposed to make some sort of announcement, but he says, he's going to make a decision eventually. He still hasn't come to a freaking decision yet, even though he's been sitting in the darkness, meditating, supposedly figuring it out. And look, Derek Carr is putting other teams in sort of a hard spot. He wants a deal to be done before free agency. We've heard Ian Rappaport talk about the fact that Derek Carr wants a deal to be done by March 13th. And that kind of makes it tough for these other teams because they don't get a chance to talk to any of the upcoming free agents, and they sort of have to just spend it all on Derek Carr without talking to other guys like Jimmy Garoppolo and Baker Mayfield. But in my opinion, do you really need to waste time talking to Jimmy Garoppolo and Baker Mayfield? So if you're the Jets, this Rodgers thing clearly seems like it's not going to work out. Even if he does agree to a trade, it doesn't seem like this guy is fully bought in on football. And you have a hungry guy right here who really wants to stick it to his former team, really wants to win a Super Bowl, and is willing to travel to the Combine just to talk to you and he wants a deal done before free agency. This is going to be my prediction. I think the Jets, after they talk to Derek Carr, are going to make a decision and are going to sign this guy because it just seems like they're running out of options. And when you talk to Derek Carr in person, he seems like he's a guy who interviews really well, leaves a strong impression on people. And from a football standpoint, he's a good quarterback. He did not get along with the head coach of the Raiders. Davante Adams straight up chose Derek Carr over Aaron Rodgers. That's why he was traded to the Raiders. So if you don't think Derek Carr is a good quarterback, then you're sort of disagreeing with somebody like Davante Adams. And look, the Commanders, we all thought they were fully bought in on Sam Howell. He was going to be their QB1, but Ron Rivera, the head coach, has said that he is just the QB1 on the roster and that he is not the starter next season for sure. So maybe the Commanders will get in the mix with Derek Carr. They also don't have a high draft pick. It'd be difficult for them to draft a quarterback. And the Panthers, we also know they may in fact roll with Sam Darnold. They may re-sign him. Who knows if he'll be cheap? Who knows if he'll be a moderate backup QB price? But this makes it less likely that the Panthers are in on the Derek Carr sweepstakes. And the Panthers do not have a great cap situation. So I could see them not going for Derek Carr because even though $35 million around the league is considered a bargain for Derek Carr, Carolina Panthers just don't have enough cap to maybe finagle that. Either way, let me know what you think is going to happen. Will Derek Carr be the first domino to fall in the QB market this year? Like this video if you have not yet and subscribe to this channel for more NFL content. My name is WiFiWillie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.